Okay, everybody, I just want you to remain seated. I'm going to be right back because I want Today is definitely a cold day. Maybe we could get some food going today. Okay, yeah, can do that. Hey, everybody. Now I know I posted a meeting to you on YouTube yesterday. So for the very first horoscope of the Sagittarius season, is, also, a very great thing to do during this horoscope is to, go, go watch Bob Ross. I was just watching an episode of him the other day, and he does landscape natural painting. And I really like his Taurus energy because it's very calm and it's very laid back. And I believe it was either the 28th or the 29th of April that he was born. You can go look it up. But but if it's October, then it's probably during a full moon, or there's just a lot of Taurus energy, or Taurus ascendant and other things. Because there's no reason why, if you appear like one kind of sign, then you should have that sign in your natal chart somewhere. Be it the ascendant, be it a house that's up there dominant. So, everybody's a mix of things. And, the world is perfectly imperfect. So, this is the horoscope. I was gonna make a video, explaining the rest of this, chart. But I just didn't do that yesterday because I was super busy in the morning, and the weekend is my break. Yesterday, November 22nd. Today, November 23rd. Okay. So remember yesterday we went hiking. We went on that hike, on that, in that trail, the Hickory Hills Park. And instead of seeing Frozen 2, we saw Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. So, that movie, as you can all remember, we saw in the theater, a year ago. And the whole grand scheme, if you can recall from that movie, is definitely not anywhere near anything that I have done, and anything that I've said. Now, I've waited until today because it was so late and I wanted to get my point across last night. I just want to welcome Abby Lee to the Edmonton again. I know that you just, came yesterday, and I told you the news, but I wanted to wait till today to tell you, and, on behalf of the whole Edmonton, and I think I'm in the mood to sit down. I'm not in the mood to stand up today and talk. So I'm gonna sit down so that I can tell you what's going on. So, this year is not going to be the traditional Nale Yo when it comes to what we're going to be doing for our holiday plans. Now, all of you are going to be going to see your families, during, the holidays, which is going to be tomorrow. So today is all of your last days, at the Edmonton. If you're coming here as, Edmonton Estudiantes, then you live around here. And you just come, to the Edmonton, freely, on your own terms when you need and want to come here. Because it is a free place. Not for everybody, but, certainly for all of you. So you all have the choice to come here. This place is completely free. Completely. There's no obligation to it. There is, but there is not. At the same time. But I will not be running the Edmonton tomorrow and, throughout the rest of this week, because it is getting close to Thanksgiving and Turkey Day. And Sagittarius season, open-hearted expansion, new beginnings. I would recommend that you see the video on Jupiter and Deborah Silverman's Bresnan Sagittarius impression. So I was just kind of thinking about the themes of, the moon placement and also the sun placement. And I was also thinking about what I have done. Because, all of you know that I have, Zach at the, island with somebody else that I have probably mentioned a couple of times. And I really took some time yesterday to reflect because I was not kind of feeling in that fiery sort of mood, and I was listening to a podcast by, I would like it to be the very same person who was alongside Zach who was also sent to that island as well, who made a podcast, and I really listened to it very deeply. Yesterday, and I found it very insightful and, comforting, and it made me feel kind of just guilty and, like I'm a crazy person for doing that to somebody. And I have not been feeling entirely myself due to this whole situation and just, being just really, upset like everybody is, and, being bored and, feeling, numb and this and that, and, to emotions and things, just nothing's really, exciting me these days, but, just the real sorrow and disappointment of not being able to see family during all of this. And, ever since, Abby has been here at the Edmonton, I have been feeling like I am becoming her, and I am rubbing off on her in a negative way, that I feel like, you are kind of a bad influence to me, and, on the show, that, you're not the best role model to everybody here. Out of how I've felt, the things that I have said, the things that I have done, I don't know if all of you picked up on it, but I had that kind of, the mentality of being Abby. And, it just really, I don't really think that that's my prerogative, really. And this is really an executive decision, and it's probably, the best decision, especially as we're getting close to Thanksgiving. All of you are going home. There's not going to be anyone here, no Minton people at all. Well, you in my house, so I'll be here, obviously. But all of you will be going home, and I think this is a very, very good time to go in, and this whole year provides a great, probably an opportunity that you'll never get again. Thinking of it positively and thinking about the silver lining of it is to take some time and reflect. And also, thinking about, and this is going to sound very, very ho-hum and very stale to each and every one of you, including myself, but I will mention it again. That this year is a really, really great reminder of, the simple of things, and it's really, teaching us not to take, things like family and things like, your home and, those Torian pleasures for granted. And I didn't have a lot of regrets about taking those kind of things for granted. But still. And, that's kind of one of the things that, if you watch Supergirl, Cat Grant, because other than, showing you how easy and how beneficial it is, and just the overall peaceful experience of sitting down and tapping into the water element and swallowing a pill in a liquid. She also really, really reminds everybody that she, if you didn't know who she was, she said, I don't have a lot of regrets. What she meant was that she does have a lot of regrets. There were a lot of things that she did in her past that she feels guilty about, wants to redo, is not, proud of. And she, really teaches the lesson, that the past is in the past, and, grounding down and focusing on the present. And I find that very, very, uplifting, especially right now. Because that is, what she is trying to communicate. And even though she, is, really, straight and direct, there's also an element to her that's, very, very kind and, professional, obviously, and laid back. Now, your character on the show, on Dance Moms, is not laid back and is not professional. And quite frankly, it's not very nice. Not very nice. And I would consider it definitely poisonous. I am sure each and every one of you, if you want to watch episodes of that show, but just a reminder that this is kind of helpful to transition, because, we're in mutable energy, and just as I'm speaking right now, the weather outside is transitioning with the snow falling on the ground. So, I want to get to the point that, Abby will no longer be with us. She will be going home and she will not be returning after Thanksgiving. Okay? So is there any questions that I can answer? Any burning comments or concerns that I can respond to and try to help? Well, you can't because of the situation, right? You know, I think that it's very, very important to, really, really think of, loving your family. And it was way, 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 way better in the summertime and springtime, don't even get me wrong. But because it's fall and because the temperatures have really cooled down, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. And don't get me wrong, I find it very, very offensive that I am considered a virus that could infect somebody, just me speaking in my presence there. In retrospect, I would find that rather silly, but not silly at the same time. But, in this situation, it really, it really is the best thing to do. Well, I already answered that question, didn't I? Answer that question? Well, I made it perfectly clear when I said that this is the situation and this is unfortunately what we have to do this year. Anyway, I want to continue speaking. Those aren't non-existent. All right. So I just want to continue here. So let's see. Is there anything else that I need to just clear right out of the way here? I don't think so. Now, yes. Sagittarius Clubus. That will probably not be for a while. It will probably not be for a while. It probably will not be till next month or the end of this month. But what always happens is that I'm super excited at the beginning and then I kind of lose interest and then so I'm going to wait a little bit to start the Clubus. I kind of want to do it getting into the middle of the season of Sagittarius. But those books will come, and I read one section out of this, and then the sun changes positions, and I read a sec. That's how you do it. don't worry about, having to read the entire book. Or having to read, most. Don't worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. Is there any other questions or comments? Yes, we're going to get to that. I'm not quite sure about that yet, really. But, these are two very, very different playing fields, okay? So I just want you to hold your horses. I'm just going to be getting something, okay? And I'll be right back. I just want you to hold on, everybody. Here. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I think that I will be reading it, doing the audiobook, because based off of what's going on outside today, I think that, you reading it on your own, listening to it is, a better thing to do for today. So, that's what I'm going to do, everybody. Meeting first.